how can someone survive financially in the arts? What, in a broad sense, are just some key things that artists, that actors, that entertainment professionals in general should keep in mind regarding their finances as they're pursuing a creative field?
That's a great question. And Patrick, I don't know if this is the case for you, but for me, I was kind of told in school, if you can do anything else, go do it. Like, this career is not for the faint of heart. I don't know if that was something that was impressed upon you when you were in school.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think that's definitely something that you hear people say a lot.
Sure, because there's going to be tons of competition for any role you go out for, and what are the odds? If you don't want it bad enough, somebody wants it more than you, that kind of thing. I think that way of thinking is outdated and dangerous. I think
I would agree with you on that. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that there's, it's interesting because we actually found the way we connected was through the Actors Fund via LinkedIn, and that's how I met so many people and also discovered the resources that are available. But I would say, to kind of share, there's two people at the Actors Fund that I absolutely love, but then there's also a particular person who's a CPA. Her name is Jody Carter, and she is, first of all, just a wealth of knowledge. But her work, she has a program called Financial Insight Training, FIT, and her work focuses on connecting your values to your financial goals and making sure that the way that you spend your money and make your money is reflecting those values. And it's very touchy-feely, but for us as actors, it's great. We love it. How often is money actually talking about emotion? But everything when it comes to money, it's every choice you make in your life, and she says this, is a financial choice. And it's a choice, a financial choice to be an artist. It's a financial choice to be an actor. Now, the choices that then follow determine whether or not you're able to stay in the business and be successful at it. So I think, nuts and bolts, just getting down to the very basics, is know what your monthly spend is, right? That's the very first thing. When you get out of school, or even before you're out of school, or when you're trying to figure this out, how much money do I need each month? That's square one. And the amazing thing, not to Jody doesn't have a film or a book coming out or anything like that, so I'm not trying to push her too hard. But she is so good at helping folks demystify the process, and kind of, especially folks that come from creative backgrounds and are, have a lot of feelings around money. She doesn't use the word budget, and I like to say that I have a spending plan. So putting your spending plan together so you know what that is. So her financial insight training is great. I'll say the point of this is know what your spend is, and then don't be afraid to learn about things. Go out there, seek the information. I remember being so. I remember in college I was all about creating avant-garde theater, and I was hanging out in the East Village a lot, going to shows that were you couldn't, I don't know, it's crazy stuff, but I was also kind of down with the man and anti this whole system, which is great. And I think that's there's ways to not compromise your beliefs and still participate in our economy and create a life for yourself, meaning learning the rules that everyone else is playing by and how to make those rules work for you is not a bad thing.
Right. Well, and I think it's this starving artist mentality.
Right.
Definitely doesn't help.
Right.
This romanticizing of, I need to have zero resources, zero money in order to be a creative, fulfilling person.
And that's not realistic, right? That's not
exactly.
not today. And I think, yeah, I love that you said the starving artist, because a mentor of mine, his name's David Maurice Sharp, wrote this book called The Thriving Artist. And he is actually, I was going to say the other thing that I was going to recommend is, once you know what that monthly amount is, or if you need help figuring out what that monthly amount is as an actor, go to the Actors Fund. Rebecca Selko, David Maurice Sharp, they do free workshops at the Actors Fund for actors, and it's a wealth of knowledge and resources to help you kind of figure out how to even approach this conversation. Because what's the ultimate goal? The ultimate goal is to be able to do this for as long as you can, as long as you want to. Hopefully until you want your work to be optional and you have to like refuse roles because you're too busy. But you know, so knowing what that monthly amount is, going and finding the education and making sure that you're building up an emergency fund, but we don't really use that word. We use a POM fund, a peace of mind fund. So it's like knowing like, okay, so the longest I've ever been without work has been this long. I probably need to have this amount set aside to dip into just in case of an emergency when I don't have work. Fast. I hate the term life hack, but life hack, financial hack, tip and trick. So one of the things that I learned from David Sharp is when you have fluctuating income, to take your pay that you do receive and put it into your savings account, and then pay yourself once a month that monthly amount that you need. So then you're never living paycheck to paycheck necessarily. And this is assuming that you can build up and get to that point, you know. But if you're able to do that, pay yourself that monthly amount, and that's your monthly spend. And anything you make goes into your savings account. And then anything beyond that, that's where kind of the next step comes in of like, okay, if you're fortunate enough to be in the situation where you have extra money, what do you do with it? How do you invest it?